Well, what is going on, YouTube? Welcome back to A Therapeutic Edge. It's nice to have you here with me today. Thank you so much for joining me. On the table in front of us today is something from We. This is thanks to the Apex Pass Around group, hashtag Apex Pass Around group. This is the We Gava. Now, this is a sort of small knife for me, but as with all We knives, it is exceptionally well made. This is just a really nice, sort of everyday pocket, carry, EDC, you get the speech, right? This is a great knife. And one of the things I like most about it is the little tiny flipper tab. Now, on one of my other videos, move that to where you can see it. There we go. One of my other videos, somebody said, I wish that knives had smaller flipper tabs. Well, here you go. Now, these are above 200 bucks because it's a We. It is CPM 20 CV. It is all titanium running on bearings. And while you can't see it, it is really milled out inside. It has a faux floating backspacer, which is interesting. See, it's got these spaces on it, which make it look like it should be sort of free-floating, but it isn't. Which means they put a lot of work in to put those spaces on this backspacer, but that's We doing their thing. The overall shape and style of this knife is a little sort of, I don't know, we'll call it techno-y. It's got these sort of milled out spaces on both sides of the titanium scales. It's a frame lock, as you can see, and this one ends locked up at about 40%, which is pretty good. This is a little small for me, but it is no less a spectacular pocket knife for all of that. The handle is reasonably thick for the size of the blade, which means for big hands, I get a really nice grip on it. That's really nice. It's got some milled spots here on the outside edges of the blade, which do nothing. It's for looks. And maybe that's the thing. There's a lot of style here. They did one interesting thing, which is, it's sort of bizarre. So check this out. There's a screw back here, right? See that? There we go. On this side, that screw, I think, probably goes all the way through and holds the pocket clip in from the other side. But the other screw is here. Can you see this? Right there. So it's a standalone screw that holds in the backspacer and probably pins into this side. Beyond that, you've got just the pivot, which is a really nice pivot. The We is just perfect on this thing. And on this side, you've got kind of a bronzed out, almost looks like the tail end of a 9mm round. The blade itself is a basic drop point with a little bit of swedge. Got nice belly. It's a real cutter. This thing has been through a bunch of hands in the pass-around group, and it is still nicely sharp. As I said, as a little tiny flipper, you can come forward, but I wouldn't. I mean, you could if you needed to, but which is just enough to stop your hand from sliding forward, for instance, if you were to poke into something. The shape of the handle means that it kind of curls back down into your pinky a little bit. Now, for me, my pinky is right up against this edge. So again, this is a little small for me, but for most people, this would be a fantastic knife. The pocket clip is, as you can see, milled and shaped titanium. It has really nice space under there. It's got good ramp, good spring. We makes good knives. This is no exception. It is a little heavy for what you get. So we're going to weigh that out in a minute, but let's go ahead and get the specs out of the way. The blade itself, you get 1 to 3 inches of cutting on 3 1/4 inches of CPM 20 CV. The grip area from behind that flipper, you get 1 to 3 1/4 half-ish right around that bend, which is why it's just a little bit small for me. The overall knife from end to end, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and just shy of 7 3/4, so 7.5. Yeah, a little over 7.5. For a lot of people, this is going to be a really excellent sized sort of pocket knife. And that's exactly what it is. It's got a ton of style milled into it, but at its core, it is a very straightforward and sort of simple knife. Now, I do like what they did with the blade. They narrowed it, they thinned it, maybe for weight reduction, I don't know. But at the end, it starts to swell out just a little bit, so it's got a nice, robust tip. I suppose, in a pinch, might be a good gas station, Fred. You never know. I don't love it. I don't. It's too small for me, but I can't say anything bad about it because We doesn't make bad knives. They just don't. And this is a really good example of that. Just because it isn't a knife for me doesn't mean it's not a spectacularly made pocket knife. Let's get some other specs out of the way. Let's weigh it, because I do say it feels a little heavy. Oh no, what am I doing? Let's do a size comparison. Here it is against the Rat 1. And as you can see, the Gava is a small boy compared to the full-size Rat. Let's do the Rat 2. But bigger than the Rat 2. Now the Rat 2 is too small for me under all circumstances. I am not comfortable using it. Not really. I mean, I've carried it and I've used it, but it just always feels like whenever I'm using this, my first thought is, I wish I had more knife. The Gava is just big enough that I don't have that problem. So whatever that's worth to you, that's where it lands. Part of course, with the Rat series is this really big choil back here for your finger, which pushes you back away from the blade really far. If you could come forward a little bit more, I'd be able to comfortably get a grip on this thing, but that's just not the way the Rats are shaped. Now let's weigh it. Yeah, let's weigh it. Woo! Oh, sorry. I don't know what to tell you guys. All right. You gonna turn on? Just be nice. There. Look. Yay. Yay. Yeah. So 3.8 ounces for a 3-inch, 3.7, excuse me, ounces for a 3-inch blade. It's just surprisingly heavy for its size, I guess. But really, it's not that heavy. Most people like a 3 to 3.5 ounce knife. This is a little bit over that, but not much. And of course, you get spectacular titanium, all milled out, looking beautiful for that extra bit of weight. Oh. People like grams. It is 106 grams. So there you go. People always ask me, should I get this wee knife or that wee knife? And I got to tell you, I say the same thing every time. Just get it. Because I've never had a bad one. I've had some weird ones. I've had some ones that don't work for me. Like, I wouldn't buy this for my collection, but maybe Women Carry Knives would like it. I don't know. But I've yet to get one that makes me go, oh, this is just not very good. They just don't do that. And in the last couple of years in particular, their refinements towards their edge, the overall fit and finish of their knives is just spectacular. I have another one coming up, the Screech, here probably in a week or so. Same story. I mean, just designed, and the fitment is just perfect. So there we go. This is the Gava. It is a really nice knife from the folks at I'd like to thank the Apex Pass-Around Group for letting me get my hands on this. If you have any questions about this knife or any of my knives, feel free to ask down in the comments, and please subscribe. I'm begging. No, but you know what? It helps the channel in many, many ways. And I love to know that you guys are here with me on a regular basis. So thanks for that again. We'll see you next time. Take care now.